Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. And welcome to the Africa Weekly Talk. All right, fellas. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while since I sat in this cozy, comfortable chair to spew my 2 cents and give you guys my opinion on what is going on around the world. It's been quite about 2 months. Yeah. I was down on the motherland, visiting family and friends like I usually do around this time of the year, to see what is going on down there in the motherland, you know. But today's subject on the docket is about dual citizenship. It's about dual citizenship and some of the immigration crackdown that is going on in the United States of America today, which isn't new, but it's currently being, heralded like it's a new thing, but it's an old thing going back years. But fellows, this new bill that is being proposed by Senator Benny Moreno of Ohio, a first-time senator. As a matter of fact, he just won his election by defeating Sherrod Brown last year in the Senate race in Ohio. And he has a bill that is heading to the Judicial Committee of the Senate to ban dual citizenship in America. So basically, he doesn't want citizens of this country, of this great country, United States of America, to have citizenship of whether they are native countries or their ancestral countries and so on and so forth. So he has this bill that is heading to the Judicial Committee in the Senate to start a process of banning dual citizenship. But the funny thing about this is that this senator was born in Colombia and came to the United States as a child. And then at the age of 18, he became a U.S. citizen. But now he wants to ban dual citizenship. But before I dive into this subject today, fellows, let's go ahead and get an insight from CNN about what this senator is talking about. And I'll come back and dissect this whole issue and give you guys my 2 cents and opinion on this issue. So let's go ahead and hear what he's talking about. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. All right, let's see. So this is what he's talking about. Let's hear what he's talking about. Okay.
A U.S. senator has before a bill that would put an end to dual citizenship. The bill was introduced by Ohio Republican Senator Bernie Moreno. Senator Moreno says the bill is intended to ensure, quote, sole and exclusive allegiance to the United States. It would require dual citizens to choose between their U.S. or foreign citizenship no later than 1 year after the bill is enacted. It would likely face serious legal challenges if it were to become law. Michael Wilds is the managing partner at Wilds and Weinberg and Melania Trump's former immigration lawyer. He's also the Democratic mayor of Englewood, New Jersey, and he joins us now. Really good to have you on this story. Beyond the fact that this may not be legal, is it even practical? Like, lay it out for us. Can the U.S. government actually ask dual citizens, you've got to choose, and that includes your former client, the First Lady, Melania Trump?
Well, this is, really an exercise in futility in so many different fronts. It never made a difference when we started as a nation 250 years ago if you prayed on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. And it shouldn't make any difference, particularly when we give citizenship to people who serve in our military. And many of our wonderful soldiers end up marrying people that they love when they are in foreign lands. Even the good senator himself was born in Colombia. Now, do we want to turn our back on people's histories? I think really the best constellation of America is not just the food and the culture and the identity from all these wonderful countries, but being American is being proud of that heritage and bringing that great Irish stew, or in my family, they would call it a chulent, together with all the different pieces, and it should be valued. It shouldn't be hidden. And people are born sometimes, Paula, to foreign nationality where they acquire citizenship of two countries because of their birth. Effectively, the government's going to have to police this and end citizenship for people so quickly. And to make these kind of choices is just going to the absurd.
And when you say that it's absurd, though, even if in a wild sense they wanted to try and enact this, legally it would be quite difficult. I mean, people do try and give up their U.S. citizenship today, and they find it a long and expensive process, right?
Giving up citizenship is not easy, and it is unwise for a whole host of reasons, the least of which is that you're considered to be a foreigner when you want to come back. There's no entitlement to come back to the United States. And effectively, you would be not just put at the back of the line, but since you were a citizen, they could inure a dual intent that you want to be permanently in America again, and they can deny your entry. We caution our clients against giving up their citizenship for a myriad of reasons. This whole argument about being American doesn't mean that other countries and our legacy nationalities have no value. Mm-hmm. My grandfathers are citizens by choice, not citizens by chance. Mm-hmm. And they pledged their allegiance to this country when they came through Ellis Island. So long as they were going to bear arms and protect this country's interests, that's what we need. To now make it it's inexcusable to kind of hold people responsible for things that they were born into.
And Michael, I do want to ask you, though, where this concept of allegiance comes from, right? The rhetoric of late has put a whole new spin on the term second-class citizen. What are you seeing in cases, legal cases, and perhaps even citizens in New Jersey there in terms of what they're going through? Because this does seem to be a trend where there are certain kinds of citizens and other kinds of citizens.
The government has now changed the dialogue, and I'm in a law school. I teach at Cardozo Law School in Manhattan, and we address foreign nationals as non-citizens. The statute itself used to say aliens. I think a lot has to do with the dialogue deteriorating in our elected officials in Washington and not understanding that the greatest risk takers, entrepreneurs, our founding parents and documents all envisioned a world where foreign students, entrepreneurs, and inventors would help really make America great. And that if we don't give a way for students to onboard properly, if we don't help people and the talent remain here and then we compete against them, or if we make it that Americans are better than other people, no, we're different. And this great experiment is only 250 years old, and it seems to be working. And it worked with our founding parents that were citizens of an enemy country. Remember that, Paula. Our founding documents were written by Brits who came here and became American citizens. This is a journey that we have a responsibility, because our kids will do what we do, not what we say. And what we're saying and what we're doing in Washington is going from bad to worse.
We will leave it there for now, Michael. Appreciate your insights, and we'll wait to see if the senator's proposal goes anywhere at all or is an exercise in futility, as you had indicated. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, fellas. So you just heard Michael Waltz, a lawyer and also, I think, a mayor in one of these New Jersey um, counties. Now, so you heard it. You have Senator Benny Moreno of Ohio proposing a bill to ban dual citizenship. I mean, this is happening at this time of the because of the what do you call it, the Afghanistan refugee that happened to kill these National Guard from West Virginia. And this has aroused a lot of emotions. So with this death of this National Guard from West Virginia, by also bringing up this issue of dual citizenship and allegiance, and also talking about refugees resettlement in America. This has pretty much aroused a lot of emotions among some conservatives and some citizens of this great nation. Because now they are looking at how these things are happening and tying them to the immigration situation in the United States of America today. And it is very unfortunate. But like the lawyers just said also, when you talk about dual citizenship, even though back then in the 1700s, they didn't call it dual citizenship. But dual citizenship, in essence of people having other citizenship, is as American as an American pie. Because all the founding fathers, as a matter of fact, 7 of the founding fathers had British citizenship during the Revolution or Independence War. So it was after the Independence War when America became independent and a republic. That's when they became American citizens. Because whilst they were fighting the British government at that time, they were all born in the British colonies, all the way from Massachusetts Bay, Benjamin Franklin, in Massachusetts Bay, all the way to Thomas Jefferson in Virginia. They were all born in the British colonies. So they were pretty much British at that time. Then after the Revolution or the Independence War, that's when they switched their allegiance and founded the United States of America and became United States of American citizens. So if you look talking about dual citizenship, even though at that time they didn't call dual citizenship at that time, that is what it is. I mean, another person in mind is Alexander Hamilton. As a matter of fact, he was born in Nevis, British West Indies, who also migrated to the United States when he was a very young age, eventually becoming the Secretary of Treasury. So you can mention all these great founding fathers of the United States of America, and you can see that all these people, one way or the other, had citizenship of Britain or other countries. But this bill that is being proposed by Senator Benny Moreno is being done at the time when you have high emotions going around in this country with regards to immigration. And especially with what just happened a couple of weeks ago with the death of this West Virginia female National Guard, which was killed by the Afghan refugee settlement refugee in America. This has also raised a lot of questions. Raised a lot of questions about refugee resettlement in the United States of America and the vetting process that these people have to go through to come to the United States. So there's a lot of emotions attached to this. And for this bill to be proposed by Senator Benny Moreno at this time also might seem very perfect for him. Because with these emotions, that means it will garner some support among the citizens of the United States of America for this bill to go through. But unfortunately for him, this bill is not going to go nowhere. I mean, when you're talking about dual citizenship, I mean, you're talking about even the first lady, Melania Trump herself. She wasn't born in the United States of America. Her parents, her family, everybody in the United States of America today are immigrants as well, and they both and all of them have dual citizenship. And then you go back and look at Trump's children, Ivanka, Eric, and Donald. Their mother was also not a U.S. citizen. She's also not a U.S. citizen. She also came from Eastern Europe. So, and you have a lot of these members of Congress and people in this country who have dual citizenship through their great 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 grandparents to Europe or to Israel and other parts of the world. But I don't know the motive behind this bill that is being proposed by Benny Moreno. But if he thinks that most dual citizens are from, let's say, Africa, Asia, or Latin America, then he's mistaken. He should have gone and done his research there. Because if you look at the studies, the statistics of U.S. dual citizenship, Majority of U.S. dual citizenship are either from Canada, Ireland, England, Germany, France, Israel, and other part of Eastern Europe. So looking at it, most dual citizens in America are mainly European dual citizens. They are not from Latin America. They are not from Africa, and they are not from Asia. They are mainly from Europe. And looking at it, the makeup of this country, there is no way the Senate is going to approve a bill to deny dual citizenship to their own European ancestors and their own European families, members who have migrated to the United States and now have dual citizenship. It ain't happening. But this senator, who is a first-time senator, is using this because of the emotions attached to the immigration policies that is going on right now in the United States. That's what this is all about. But this is not going anywhere. I can bet my life on this thing will never pass because it ain't gonna pass. I mean, are you kidding me? Do you think Donald Trump is going to sign a bill to deny his own wife her ability to have a dual citizenship? It ain't happening. And his children, as well as most of these cabinet members. I mean, his entourage like Jared Kushner, Steve Wilkoff, all these guys have dual citizenship, either through Israel. And I mean, and I'll look at it this way anyway. I mean, most Israeli American Israelis have dual citizenship with Israel. And these people are very powerful. I mean, they have a very powerful lobby in this country. And this thing is going to be tamped down as soon as possible. It's not going to go nowhere. I mean, he's just, I don't know whether grandstanding or whatever, grandstanding or whatever, I don't know what he's trying to do. He's a first step senator. He's trying to do something. I mean, for people to think he's doing something, but this is baloney. Because looking at it from his own background, this is a dude that was born in Colombia himself and migrated to this country when he was very, very young. So he came here when he was a child and became a U.S. citizen at the age of 18. And for him to propose a bill to say that, oh, because of allegiance. What allegiance is he talking about? Most dual citizens in America will die for this country because they believe in America. That is why people sign up to become American citizens. People don't deny their allegiance to America because of having the opportunity to live in the United States of America. That's not why people swear the oath of allegiance to the United States of America. Majority of the people who swear oath to become a U.S. naturalized citizen is because they believe in the United States of America and they believe in the opportunities that this country have given them. And they switch their allegiance to this great country because of that. And majority of these people will die, will fight and die for this country because of that belief. I mean, as a dual citizen myself, I will do that if I have to. I will fight and die for America if I have to. Because at the end of the day, this country has also given all these dual citizens a lot. Has given us the opportunity to become what we have become in this great country. So when he's talking about allegiance, he doesn't want dual allegiance, more or less like people who have dual citizens have allegiance to their countries and America and all that stuff. No, I think he's mistaken on that one. He's 100% mistaken because at the end of the day, the allegiance that people swear, the oath that they swear to become U.S. citizens is core, is baked in their belief of this great country. You know, I mean, people believe in this country to the extent that some people even don't have to move into the United States of America and still will swear allegiance to fight for this great country. I mean, I can go back and talk about James Smithson. I don't know if most people have heard of James Smithson. Smithsonian, the Smithsonian Museum, which was named after him. In the 1800s, this guy, before he died, he willed everything that he has to the United States government. All his money for them to do research on a lot of things. He willed everything to the United States. And the funny thing about James Smithson is that he never even set foot to the United States of America. He never set foot. He was a Scottish British who never set foot, but he willed everything that he owned to the United States government because he said he believed in the American idea. He believed in the American experiment. He didn't will it to England. He didn't will it to Scotland. He willed everything to the United States of America because of his belief of the American idea and experiment. And this is a man who never set foot to the United States of America, but gave all his wealth to the United States of America for that idea of United States of America. So, I mean, when I hear people talk about allegiance, because it's more like he's trying to draw in the idea that you have these new refugees coming in to settle and some of these people, going out of their way and committing terrorism and stuff. So more or less, these people who come here are part of the problem. But that is a misguided idea from Senator Moreno because yes, there are even Americans, natural born Americans who hate America. So, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you are from somewhere or you are born here. A person who wants to hate will always hate. And it shouldn't be about that. It should be about the people who are ready to fight and die for this country, whether they are foreign born or natural born. That is what this is all about, should be about. But unfortunately, he's playing to the emotions of what is going on right now. So he's using this to push an agenda. But it's not going to go anywhere. Like I said, it ain't going nowhere. Because you hear a lot of talk about the new immigration policies of stripping some of these refugees who have been in this country for quite some time now, like people from Somalia, South Sudan or Sudan, Afghanistan, and all is coming up because of what happened about 2-3 weeks ago when this Afghan resettled refugee shot and killed the West Virginia National Guard trooper. And that is why this thing is garnering some support right now because of emotions. This is all about emotions. And he's using this to grandstand. But Senator Moreno should think about doing something way better than this. It ain't going nowhere. At the end of the day, this great country has always been and will always be a country that was built by immigrants. You can never take that away. And when immigrants settle in America, they give their all because of the opportunity that this country gives them. Because there's no place on this planet Earth that gives more opportunity to strangers and immigrants than the United States of America. And everybody who has been in this country will testify to that. And everybody knows that. That is why we have different people from different parts of the world, every corner of the world, living in the United States of America. Because of that, it's the opportunity that it gives that you can never get anywhere else on this planet Earth. That is why people come here and swear allegiance and eventually become citizens of this great nation. It's because of the love and the opportunity that this country has given them. Not because to turn around and hate America or anything like that. And that is what Senator Moreno's bill pretty much is trying to say that, because these people have citizens of other countries, we don't want that. We want full allegiance to the United States of America. But you should go and check the history of the great founding fathers of this great country. All of them were citizens of another country, notably Great Britain, and went to war against Britain because of ideology, because they didn't believe in the monarch system and the ideology of taxation against American citizens at that time. That's why they died and fought for their independence. So, Senator Moreno, if you want to do something better for this country, withdraw that bill, because that bill of banning dual citizenship ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. All right, fellas. If it's Sunday, it's the Africa Weekly Talk. God bless you guys and have a great week. And peace and love. And I'm back. So hopefully you guys get to see me and hear about me again next week. Thank you guys and have a great weekend. Peace and love.